Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading. My name is Matthew, and if you'd like to learn more about my channel and what kind of services I offer, you can read more in the description box down below. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into your reading, but just real quick, if you resonate with this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe so that helps me to grow this platform, this YouTube platform, so I can reach more people with these messages. So here you have for your overall energy the 9 of air. It's such a beautiful card. So it speaks a lot about the mind. Obviously, it's a lot going on in the mind here, and it's actually quite about like the mind of God, or the imagination of God. And it gets really into really deep kind of metaphysical philosophy territory, because it gets into the questioning and rethinking what really even is the nature of mind, what is the nature of consciousness, and how does that actually interface with physical reality, right? Because in the materialistic scientific paradigm that we live in, the mainstream way of thinking about it is that our minds and our consciousness, they just exist almost like a byproduct or something like kind of irrelevant that just someday randomly grew out of unconscious matter, for no apparent reason. It sounds a little bit silly when you really break it down. I think it sounds a bit silly anyway. Because what this is talking about is a completely different paradigm of viewing the world, in which everything, the entire universe, is first imagined. It starts in a mental form, and even the physical structures, the laws of physics that create what we are experiencing now as a three-dimensional physical universe, that is all even just mathematical constructs, where does those mathematical equations and such that are underlying the physics of our reality, where do those even exist, right? Those exist in a mind of some godlike creator being, And the interesting thing, though, is it's that consciousness works like a fractal, so that, we are also, each individual one of us is one of those godlike creator beings, although we don't often remember ourselves as such in this day and age. Inside our mind is a whole universe of life, and think about it, really think about it. It's a little bit trippy to go fully into the understanding of this, but what if every single character and experience and anything that you can imagine in your mind is just as real in that dimension, in its own universe, in its own reality, in its own dimension. It's just as real as you are sitting here, right, being imagined by the dreaming mind of some other divine being in some other dimension, realm, reality, right? That our whole universe can be contained within the mind of some other being, and you, in your mind, can contain entire universes, etc., in a type of fractal. It's a very out there kind of concept. It's very when you really process it, it's really challenging the limits of perception and the limits of our ability to conceive and imagine. But so that's talking about that the way that we're then able to create our experience of reality through what the functions of our mind, which, a lot of the functions of your mind are not totally in your conscious control. There's a huge amount that's going on in the subconscious mind. So that's going to be what this reading is about. But here, look, she has at least it looks like a feminine figure to me. She has the lotus of creation in her hands, right? And she's even literally, there's flames coming from her fingertips. She literally has the power to create reality at her fingertips, right? and it's coming through this divine energy that's flowing through her mind, like flowing through her imagination, and she's channeling it through her being and creating an experience of reality. It's generating a matrix, basically. It's like that, like a fractal matrix of reality, and the way that is generated out, projected out actually through our minds. Like the third eye can be almost like a camera projector projecting reality out for us to experience. Okay, so that's just the basic context, but to pivot the message a little bit, so yeah, wow. Sorry, that's a big context to set up there. So with the animals coming in too, you have the panther and the elephant. All right. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not a nice experience to go through. It's not comfortable. It can be actually intensely uncomfortable. Some like downright painful, potentially even more. Typically more emotionally, mentally, but potentially even physically. But the panther comes in. It's people misunderstand it because it can seem like a dark influence or a malefic influence because it brings a lot of chaos in our lives and a lot of suffering and difficulty. But what it's doing is it's just clearing out any stagnant energy in your life, anything that's no longer serving you, some things that you maybe would not let go of on your own. You're just not going to let go of it, even though it's not serving you. So the panther will jump into your life and tear it apart, destroy it, basically. It's a very destructive energy. That's what I mean. That can be uncomfortable to go through. But the thing is that to just trust that it is all in your higher good, right? That is taking you. And that's, so the elephant talks about removing blockages in our path, but also mysteriously it can also be an energy that will put blockages in our path at certain times when we're not going in the direction that's more aligned with our soul and where our soul is trying to lead us to. So it can potentially block you when you're going the wrong way, or remove blockages from the path that you're meant to be going down, right? So it's an energy that will redirect you, and these are going to be like really big, major kind of roadblocks, right? Because the first card I'm seeing here is change, followed by exhaustion. Okay. So with the change energy, yeah, it's just, that's what I mean. Like, it's just some kind of major aspect of your life. It's being flipped and turned upside down. It's being put through the wheels of change. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very comfortable process for you. Like, it might be something, universe is trying to get you to let go of something that you don't want to let go of necessarily, or that you had in your mind, you were imagining for a while that this would be your future, or this would be your path, and spirit is busy trying to redirect you, but you're so attached, you have this belief system, you're so attached to it, you're just trying to make it work. You're working yourself to the bone, to the point of exhaustion, trying to make this thing work. When it's really like, what's happening really is the spirit is putting an obstacle in that direction. It's making it not work. It's making it impossible for you to really continue in that way, because it's trying to redirect your energy. It's trying to redirect you to a completely different path. Okay? But you could be resisting that, and the more that you resist it, the more it's just going to drain you, and it's going to enhance the more resistance is going to enhance the feeling of suffering as the panther and the elephant are coming through to rip this out of your life, this thing that's not really serving you anymore. So this card, it talks about how your beliefs are what is creating your reality. And yeah, so it can be whatever, like when you really get down to it, like when you dig into what's going on in the shadows of this situation, you might start to understand that the reason why you're so committed to this path is actually coming from some sort of limiting belief. Like maybe you don't believe that you deserve better or that you could achieve something better. So you've sort of settled yourself for, well, this is the best I can do with myself or my situation, so I'm just going to do that. And Spirit is just telling you no. Like, no, you have to be courageous to take a step into another direction in a way that you will be dreaming bigger and better for yourself, like even better than you think this current situation can do for you. Or maybe it's the same dream, but the way that it's going to manifest is completely different than what you had imagined and believed for a long time. And it's going to take some courage to let go of that, right? You also have the letting go card on this row, as well as conditioning. So conditioning, yeah, this really gets deeply into belief systems and how that you have limited yourself by adopting these certain beliefs, which maybe are not even necessarily from you. It can be something from your parents or from school system or society at large, from culture, beliefs that you didn't even realize you were taking in because it was happening already before you were even a fully conscious, self-aware adult, right? And you just took these things on, but it's not really a true reflection of your soul and what you're here to do and be. So you're shedding that. It's not an easy process at all. Like I said, it can be quite tumultuous and painful and bring like chaos in your life and uncertainty. And at the beginning, you have to just sort of start to go in a different direction, just based on trust and faith in the process. Right? But the good thing is you don't have to rush yourself either, right? Like as soon as I think you just, at least before you start making a really radical U-turn in your life and like, I'm just going to go completely in another direction, like just, you don't even need to take it that far. Like what Spirit is asking you now is just slow down, just stop, just like try and, even if you don't know which direction necessarily to pivot your life, right? The best thing you can do is to just slow yourself down and at least, like slow down the momentum that you had going in this direction that's not working for you. Because it's basically like with the more that you're hitting the accelerator pedal, trying to go in this direction that you believe is where you should be going, you're just ramming into a wall, basically, and you just keep smashing yourself into this, and there's an obstacle there, and it's hurting you to keep smashing into it, but you don't necessarily even believe, you are not seeing, because your beliefs are limiting you, that you're not seeing any other options or any other directions. So the first thing to do is to just slow down, stop hitting the gas pedal, right? Hit the brakes, stop smashing yourself in the wall, right? And just like wait for a moment, just like wait, and like it will become pretty quickly clear like that something is ripening in a different direction. Like the fruit is ripening over here, right? Instead of you were thinking it was going to be over here. And as soon as you're slowing down enough to even look around and pay attention to what other possibilities there are, it will just kind of hit you. It will just kind of hit you, and you will have a sort of inspiration of where that you would fit better in the world, or where you can offer yourself, your services, where you can fit in a social situation, social dynamic, group dynamics better. You will start to see just a new path suddenly that you weren't aware of before. It will open up, and it will feel much more. There won't be so much resistance blocking your way. Yeah, and so at that point, it will be also like in a way a type of like through the process of to even get yourself to the point where you can slow down enough to have that epiphany. You have to decondition your belief system, whatever it is that's not letting you see clearly, that's not letting you see all of the options that are truly available to you. And in that process, you will be empowering yourself through the mental realm. This, because ultimately the context of this whole thing is about your mind and your belief systems and how those subconscious beliefs can limit the way that you're creating your reality, right? So you're gonna have more control over your mind and your how your imagination and your dreams manifest into reality. Now, it's not the kind of control in the sense of micromanaging, you know, it's not a type of micromanaging energy. I just want to get that clear out of the way. But it is that sense of having very sharp discernment, and you see also there's this cutting blade here at the bottom, and she also has the same at the base of her wrist. It's so the way, like, even rooting in through her reality creation process, like the rooting of it is through this blade of discernment, this blade of truth. So it's like that sense of knowing what it is that is not serving you, whether that be relationships or job situations, life situations, living situations, etc. Or whether it be a fully internal thing, like the kind of thoughts that are repeating on a track in your head, or your beliefs. You can kind of catch underlying that you were believing something that it's not actually true and not actually in your highest good, and because you were believing it, you were experiencing it to be true, it was becoming true, at least for your experience, but it's not universally true, and it's actually something that you can cut out. Right, so that's what these energies are here for. They're here to help you to cut out all of those negative thought patterns that eventually manifest into weird negative situations in your life. And so you will have, in that sense, you will have a lot greater sovereignty and control over yourself, because it's not that, again, like, this guy is really tight-fisted, but like, I'm not sensing a very tight-fisted type of iron fist kind of control, but it's more just like that you don't really allow yourself to fall into negative spirals of negative thinking anymore. Like, you're able to stop it at the beginning and just cut that thinking pattern off entirely and completely take it in a new direction, which very soon will start to manifest in your external life, moving in completely new directions and changing in ways that were previously beyond your wildest dreams. Or even maybe it is you're still your same wildest dreams, but now they're actually coming true, and before you didn't sort of really believe that it could actually happen. Like, you wanted it, you wished and hoped, but you didn't believe really that it could happen, or you deserve it, or that it was realistic, or some such thing. But it is, and as soon as you settle yourself in this energy, you will start to see it manifesting in a really miraculous kind of way. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Please comment down below, how did this resonate with you? You can tell me your personal stories. I always like to hear that. If you need a personal reading to go deeper into your situation, some kind of personal advice, you can always book that with me. There's information in the description box down below. And otherwise, yeah, I'll leave it here. So just keep on dreaming big, and keep on weaving your dreams into reality. Bye.